Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So a few weeks back I received a message from a viewer commenting that they purchased 3 ceiling fans from a thrift shop for $5 American and were wondering if these were worth more as scrap value. So what I have behind me today are 2 ceiling fans. Unfortunately I could not find a third, but these are very heavy. Ceiling fans are a great source of scrappable material. There's always a beautiful copper bearing motor inside. There's always some tin and sometimes brass. So what I want to do today is weigh the different materials separate to see how much he could get for scrap money. I do want to say beforehand, however, if they are in workable condition, you can definitely make more money selling them online. I have seen them on different websites selling. Sometimes people just buy them for the replacement parts, but that is definitely going to be a better option than scrapping them if they work. These 2 fans unfortunately don't work, so I have no problem scrapping them. And these, as I said, are very heavy. Together, these weigh 20 pounds. And if I was to bring them in whole like this, I would get tin price. And currently right now in London, Ontario, tin shred is going for 10 to 13 cents a pound. So already there, without any work, I would get $2 for this. But again, I have already removed the nice copper bearing motors. You can see I am amazed that I used to actually pass these up. I don't know why, but definitely some great copper here. So I'm gonna take the copper out of these, weigh it separately. This copper is gonna go for number 2 copper, which is actually currently going for $4.85 a pound right now in London, Ontario, Canada. So gonna see how much I have that and how much of a profit, if I do make a profit by stripping these down, scrapping them, sorting the material, then actually see how much difference from him buying them at a thrift shop. So here we go. First thing I want to say is this one was actually a little stubborn. Some of the screws were stripped on this. But as you can see, all of this stuff, if I put a magnet to it, these fins, I have already removed the wooden fins, but all of these are magnetic. So all of this is going to be tin. I have seen a lot of times these items painted to look like brass. So you definitely want to, if you don't attract it to a magnet, want to do the scratch test. I have seen some that are brass. But clearly this with a magnet, brass is non-magnetic, so this is going to be tin. I have a whole bunch of different parts of it that I've taken off, all tin here. So I am going to weigh this separately after as well. This is the holder that has the copper bearing motor. And I do have a separate video actually showing how to scrap a ceiling fan from the beginning. So if you are interested in that, go check that out. But this one, for the sake of time, I have already stripped it down just because I want to see how much the copper is going to be worth. But again, this is also magnetic. So this is heavy right here. I can tell you that right now. The bottom part does have, this is magnetic, but there is some cast aluminum here that is attached to a steel ring. I do not remove these. I have seen some people take these off and put them into dirty cast aluminum. Dirty cast aluminum is only going right now for 5 cents a pound. So keeping this together like this, I'm going to make more money as tin. And again, it is very difficult. You can see it is sort of welded onto the metal there. So in my opinion, not worth that couple extra pennies taking out that cast aluminum. The light switch here, or the lights that have it, sometimes they do have brass inside. Those are going to have a little bit of brass that you may want to take off. The outer shell of this is also magnetic. And inside, there are some wires here. You do want to check these wires. As you can see with this one, this is not copper wire. There is, especially on certain electronics and appliances, some wire that is aluminum. So this will not go into my copper bin. This will be just, I would put this into low grade wire. I mix it in with all my aluminum windings, and I get about 50, 60 cents a pound, which is not much, but it's better than nothing. You do want to make sure you check on the windings from this one. If I take them up to the camera, these are copper, and this wire here, you definitely want to separate it from your aluminum. This is what we call 60% appliance wire. And the rule is, because these are individual coated strands of copper with one coating of plastic, it is going to be 60%. And currently right now in London, Ontario, it is going for $2.74 a pound, which is an excellent price. You definitely want to separate it. If I was to use a good example right here, this is just the extension cord I have attached to my grinder. These have an outer casing of plastic. Inside there are going to be 3 coated strands of copper. Because there is more plastic, this would be in a different category for 40% appliance wire. So definitely want to separate this. This would be currently going for $1.64, so $1.10 less than this. So definitely separate it. As well, you do want to make sure you check the different on and off switches. All of these, I've already cut one off. I have right here, and I've already scratched it. This is actually going to be brass. You can see I just scratched the finish off it. There is still the yellow underneath, as well as this handle is also brass. I scratched it, there you go. So currently yellow brass like this is going for $3.85 a pound in London, Ontario. So definitely want to make sure you keep this, and that would be on all of the different switches. This one, again, has brass on it. You want to check. This one is not gold color, so scratch it. Inside of it does not reveal the gold underlay, so this is actually probably going to be aluminum. If I put a magnet to it, I'll just check. Oh, no, it is magnetic, so this is going to be actually going into my tin. So definitely check your on and off switches. Some of them are brass. I definitely want to make sure you separate that. So for the sake of this video, there is a little bit more brass that I need to take off here. I'm just going to unscrew it. You can see it comes off. Very easy to cut. Going to cut that. Separate it. So there is, look at that piece. That's interesting. I've got a little bit of brass on this side, and the rest of this is steel. So definitely want to make sure I cut all of that brass, separate it, because it all adds up. And I will factor this into my weight as well. It's not much brass, but it's definitely better than nothing. Okay, but for the rest of this, I'm just going to speed it up, cut out as much wire as I can, and I'm just going to throw the rest of this into tin shred. All right, so there we go. Just cleaning it up very quickly. Okay, tin shred. Okay, a little bit of wire. And again, this is not very heavy, but I just throw it into a bag and all of my appliance wire. It definitely adds up quick. Okay, this fan, a little bit bigger. Again, put a magnet to it. The outer case is going to be tin shred. Going to put it back here. Here is the beautiful copper motor, and I'm just going to hit that out. I've already removed the bolt out of here, but just going to take a hammer, pop it out. Okay, there we go. So again, this one as well has a nice thick cast aluminum ring around it. Gonna leave that in there because it is gonna be hard to get out, and in my opinion, not worth it. So gonna leave it as tin shred. Okay, this one too has the nice brass. I've already scratched it. Some nice handles there, some nice levers. This stuff, again, as I said, this is copper. So gonna cut that off in a minute as well. What if I find my things here? There we go. Just quickly doing it. Obviously, if I'm scrapping this properly and for a whole video, I would definitely get as much of this off as I can. But for the sake of this video, all I want to do is just answer that question, how much copper from that. So I'm going to put that off to the side. So here we go. These two motors here. And all I'm going to do now to remove the copper from this, Very simple to do. I could actually, before I do it, I could bring these in now for copper bearing motors. This would give me 15 cents to 20 cents a pound Canadian per pound. This is very heavy, but again, it is so much more worth taking off that number 2 copper and putting it in number 2 bin. All I'm gonna do is take a grinder, and I'm just going to, I could use a pair of tin snippers, I could use a pair of pliers, but all I'm gonna do to speed it up is use a grinder, and I'm just gonna make an incision on each one of these, and then just turn it over and pop them out. So here we go, gonna start off, just gonna put this right on my vise, have my safety glasses on, I already have my grinder set up, just gonna do this very quickly. I do have a container here, just going to actually now pop it, bring it over, and use a flathead screwdriver. Just pull these up, it'll come out nice and easy. Okay, look at how easy that is, and upgrading so nicely. Let's get a smaller screwdriver here, pop that under. Okay, and it's just using leverage, obviously. That's what's great about this. Want to make sure I get all of this copper. But look at that, that just adds up. Beautiful, beautiful motor. And again, obviously copper motors come in different styles, different sizes, as you can see. And actually I'm going to just do this, pull that up like that. See if I can, where are my pliers? Another thing you can use, obviously, just showing different methods. Okay, but again, my screwdriver is my best friend here to get under this copper. There we go, a couple seconds of work. And you do want to make sure that you have, like this one, I obviously did not cut all of the copper, so that will definitely hinder your progress. So make sure you get all the windings. I have to go back to that one. And again, there are different methods to remove the copper. I've seen lots of people use, you know, just as I said, the side cutters and the E-straw cutters, if you will, or aluminum cutters. My opinion, they all work, and especially, I guess, with Earth Day, not using electricity could definitely help the environment. But I'm just trying to speed this up as quick as I can for you. So there is one motor going to be done, removed. Okay, as I said, I did not cut all the way through. As you can see, it is very simple to cut through with a side cutter. This one is very stubborn. There we go, I got you. And the nice thing about this is I can still throw this now into my tin shred. So I'm not losing any money here. Okay, look at that. That's just one motor. And if I was to weigh this right now, here's my scale. I have 15.7 ounces there. So almost a pound right there. So almost $4.80 just from that, minus that container. So probably, I'm going to say, about $4 worth. Going to do the same thing for this one, just to finish it off. And I'm not even going to actually get all of this copper out for this video. I'm going to do it at a different time. I obviously just proved that it is well worth your time taking out that copper. So definitely this one is going to be a little bit trickier because the windings are a little bit smaller. And it looks to be just a little bit of glue on it. And if in doubt, all I have to do as well is put this into a vise to secure it. There is going to be a little bit of copper dust when you do it with a grinder, so that's another reason why some people will not use a grinder. Some people will use instead, obviously, the side cutters and not get that winding, but for me, it's just quicker. So again, just using leverage, pop them up, then just pop it. So this one, as I said, does have some glue on it, which makes it a little bit trickier, but again, not impossible. So there we go. Just gonna get a couple more, just to get over the 4 pound or the pound mark. And again, if I was to imagine another one of these motors, you're going to probably have close to 2.5 pounds of copper. So definitely worth more taking the copper. My friend, you definitely, if these were non-working fans, you definitely would have come ahead with buying these for the scrap value. But this was only an experiment, as I said. You were definitely, if they do work, you want to make sure you sell those online instead. So thank you for the question. As I said, just going to redo this here. There is my pound right there, and I haven't even touched the rest of this. I do want to just weigh my steel as well, and I'm going to use a different scale for this because it is still going to be, this only goes up to 11 pounds. So here we go. Already 7 pounds. I have 10 pounds. 13. All right, so about 17 pounds right there. With that, probably 18 pounds of steel. The brass, I probably, from these little pieces, only have about 3 ounces combined, or 2 ounces with everything. Same with the wire. I don't have a lot of wire there. But again, just from that copper, definitely going to be worth more money than that $5 at a thrift shop. So again, thank you for your question. Ceiling fans, an excellent item to scrap if they don't work. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Tin Man out.